Well, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and it is Friday, and we like having Tim Elbert around. He's a cool dude. He heads up the Four Seasons Nursery out on Crater Lake Highway in the Medford area, and he is here today to take your questions and to answer your questions about what is or is not going on in your yard. And I can't wait till we're moved, and we'll be doing this segment maybe even from your place someday, Tim.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
Out there in the nursery. Your nursery is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I drove by the other day. The color and everything is just gorgeous. He brought in a coreopsis, and this is one of Peggy's favorite flowers because they're beautiful when they're in full bloom.
Yeah, and you know they bloom all summer long. They just bloom their little hearts out. This is a neat variety in that it is one of the Big Bang series.
Big Bang Theory. Well, you heard that right here on the
or maybe it was Lil Bang.
Little Bang. Little Bang Theory.
And yeah, it's a dwarf version.
Really?
So it stays small and doesn't take up as much room as some of the other varieties, which can get quite large, and yet still blooms all through the summer. So it's a really, really, really nice plant.
All right, so here's the deal. You could win this today. It'd be nice to give it to Dad for Father's Day. Say, Dad, here's a coreopsis. Go plant it.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, run the drip system to it. Anyway, 541-776-5368 is the local number. 541-776-5368. And if you're outside the immediate area, you too can enter. We'll figure out a way to get you the plant. We'll just put it in a box and send it to you. No, I don't know. But you're welcome to join us. Area code toll free, 800-373-5368. And everybody calls in today. Your name's going in the hat, and coming up at the end, somebody's going to win this beautiful coreopsis. And like you said, it blooms all summer long. We have the larger variety, and they do pretty good with not a whole lot of water, I've discovered.
Yeah, yes, they're very drought tolerant.
Yeah.
And especially once they get established. They tend to be fairly deer resistant. The deer usually leave them alone. This variety, of course, has the yellow petals with the dark rusty red center. They come in lots of other colors as well. So one of my favorite perennials, just because they perform so well.
Well, that, and they give great accent color to your garden. When you drive up to our house, they're kind of splattered around and they look nice. So
yeah.
Anyway, coreopsis. All right, a lot going on. And again, the phone number 541-776-5368 or toll free 800-373-5368. Let's go to, hey, the phones are already lighting up. Hi, Monroe.
Hello.
How are you doing out there?
Pretty good. My question is, how do you get rid of horsetails? I have a large bark mulch area that's somewhat near an irrigation canal, and I keep them string trimmed down as much as I can, but they just keep coming back, and I don't know what to do about it.
Well, that's difficult around a waterway area like that because you've got to be very careful not to pollute the water. So what I would suggest would be the Killzall and add an extra spreader sticker to the mix. That way it stays on the plant. So as they come up, you want to get them sprayed, allowed to dry before you end up with any water in that area. So don't do it if there's a chance of rain or something. But that usually will get them under control. It'll knock them down. They will come back. But usually repeated applications, 3 or 4 times, and you've got it under control.
Okay, what did you say to add to the Killzall?
It's called spreader sticker, and it's a surfactant that allows it to soak into that waxy stem that horsetail has. It also kind of glues it on, so it not only allows it to soak in, but it makes it rain fast. So once it dries on there, it won't wash off. And I think that's important too, because if you end up higher water or something like that, it's not going to wash into the waterways and cause all kinds of problems and stuff.
Right. Well, I'm not actually. It wouldn't get into the waterway. It's just that it's near enough to an irrigation canal that there's some groundwater to give these things moisture to grow, but there's really no danger of the spray finding its way into that canal.
Good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Monroe.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome.
Good calls. 541-776-5368. and your name will go in the hat for this beautiful coreopsis. All right. Hi, Peggy. What's up with your yucca?
Well, I have 3 kind of overgrown yuccas in the front of our yard. Beautiful right now because they're blooming, but they are overgrown, and we don't know whether to cut them down with a chainsaw that they'll come back because they're so tough. I don't know how to get into them.
Yeah, well, what you do is you get on a good pair of leather gloves and some eye protection.
Okay.
And you want to get in there and cut them way back, and they will recover from that. They'll come up from the base. So, but yeah, you can go right in there and cut them, usually within a foot or so of the ground, and they should come right back.
Okay, and then the ones that are, like the baby plants, like hen and chick, the ones that come off to the side,
right,
because they multiply like that. But do we dig them up from the root, or do we just let them keep on coming back too, along with the others?
Well, that would be up to you in your situation. Now, one thing that you can do is cut out or dig out those little babies, set them aside, dig the mother plant out and get rid of it, and replant the babies back in there, one or two or something like that, and that will give you a lot more time before it becomes overgrown again.
Yeah, okay. I didn't want to hurt it because it's not really our home, but but we're supposed to take care of the grounds, so. Sure. Okay. Well, thank you, Tim.
All righty, you're welcome.
Thanks, Peggy. All right. The phone number again is 541-776-5368 or toll free 800-373-5368. Name will go in the hat with your question, and you could win this beautiful coreopsis. Tim is here to turn work into fun.
That's right. That's right.
Every question that you ask means work, and he turns it into fun. Sooner or later, you're going to have to get down there and get with it, right?
Yeah, speaking of Father's Day, I think it was last year, somebody came in to buy their dad a new shovel for Father's Day.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I said, that's not a good idea.
Yeah. That's better than a tie, I think.
We joked about it, but yeah, I mean, it was, it's pretty funny. I said, don't buy your dad a new shovel.
All right. Anyway, give us a call if you have any questions about what is or is not going on in your yard or what to do, planting, spraying, transplanting, pruning, and your name will go in the hat, and somebody's going to win this beautiful coreopsis. And by the way, there's a lot of things going on. The weather actually kind of turned a little cool this weekend. It's supposed to warm up maybe in the 90s next week. So the roses, Peggy's roses, are just gorgeous.
Yeah, my rose garden all froze down this winter when it got so cold, and I didn't have a lot of time this spring to do a lot with it, and so my thought was I'll be digging these out and replacing them. But every one of my rose bushes has come back.
Wow.
We use the Dove formula on them, and they're big and beautiful and blooming right now, and they're looking absolutely fabulous. So, they're a resilient plant, and I'm glad because I don't have to dig them all out and replace them.
Okay. What should we do with weeds in the lawn? Is it too warm now to do your thing?
No, it's great timing for weed control in the lawn. Now, we recently came out with our lawn care newsletter. This is brand new this year. It's a separate email newsletter that we do away from our regular newsletter, and you can sign up for that. It just is on lawn issues, and one of the things we're talking about right now is grassy type weeds in the lawn. So like crabgrass. What does crabgrass look like? What is it? How do you get rid of crabgrass in the lawn? Bermuda grass. And a lot of people call Bermuda grass crabgrass, but it's not. And the control is very different from crabgrass. And then that pesky nutsedge that comes up in the lawn. With that kind of a V-shaped leaf that grows twice as fast as the rest of the lawn and has that odd color to it, and how to get rid of all of those. And so, it's great timing for doing all of that, getting rid of the weeds in the lawn, getting that lawn back to looking good. Changes in how to water the lawn, mowing heights, those are all things that we cover in that lawn care newsletter.
And they can get that where?
You can go online to our website, and you can sign up for that on our website, or you can give us a call and let us know what your email address is. We'll get you signed up.
All right. So your email address is?
It's Tim at, nice long one, all spelled out, fourseasonsnurseryonline.com.
Long name, amazing results.
Long name, amazing people.
Yeah, there we go. All right, let's squeeze in one more call before we take a break. Hi, Wanda. What's going on with your petunias?
Well, I'm new at this, and I just purchased them a week ago out at the nursery, along with the bugworm spray. Mm-hmm. I'm afraid, because I don't have a green thumb, that I'm afraid to spray it on. Am I supposed to douse the flowers, the foliage underneath, or just a light mist? Or
no, a good dousing. What we seem to have problems communicating sometimes is getting enough of that spray on. It's got to be good and wet.
Okay.
So good heavy dose of that spray all over the plant. A light misting isn't going to be enough.
Okay, great.
So
Thank you.
undersides, tops, round, everywhere, get a good soak with it, and you'll have really good success.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, thank you, Wanda. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. If you want to get your name in the hat to win this beautiful Coreopsis, well, just call and ask your garden question to Tim. The Timinator's here from Four Seasons Nursery. They're out there on Crater Lake Highway, Highway 62. You get off on Vilas Road, go up on the frontage road about a half mile. You can't miss it. It's beautiful, just flowers and gorgeous color everywhere. And they are open sometime during the day.
9 to 5 every day.
Oh, 9 to 5 every day. Okay, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paulina, and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.
All right, we're back with Tim Elbert from the Four Seasons Nursery, taking your questions on this beautiful day. And if you got anything, questions about what's going on in your yard, maybe it's not going on in your yard, this would be a good opportunity to call. And your name will go in the hat for a beautiful Coreopsis today. And this is kind of like the miniature one, you're saying, right, Tim?
Yeah, a new series called Lil Bang series, and the dwarf Coreopsis. My favorite color one here with the dark center with the bright yellow edges on the petals.
This got a gazillion blooms yet to happen, so it'll bloom all summer long. All right, let's get back to the phones. Hi, Stacy. Thanks for your patience. What's going on with your peach tree?
Hey, well, so far so good. It looks nice. It's just, I think, the third year, and the peaches are set. Tim, is there anything that I need to do between now and harvest time, or just water it like crazy?
You got to hug it. Do you hug it? Do you go out and hug it?
I do.
Okay.
Okay, well, the only other thing is you have to sing to it.
Okay.
So, yeah, so you need to get out there and sing to it. And, you know, probably the best timing for that is you need to call the Dove on the morning program and sing to your tree on the Dove.
Well, Perry has to sing with me, so Perry, we'll have to make an appointment for that.
Hey, Stacy, go ahead. Pass on that, okay?
Oh yeah, no. Just keep it good and watered, and keep an eye on those peaches and watch them as they continue to develop. And
watch out for the birds.
Yeah. And the ants. You know, keep an eye out for the ants. They love those sugars. So you may have to put a little tanglefoot around the trunk to keep the ants out, but. Just watch them, and that'll be fun. And then
no fertilizer or anything at this point.
No.
Okay.
So, and then there's one thing you have to do after harvest that's really important.
And there it comes. Is it a peach pie for Perry?
No, for me.
No, you had it right the first time.
All right, hey, thanks, you guys. Have a great weekend.
Okay,
you too.
Man, she got that one right out of the bag.
Well, no, it's supposed to make it for me.
No, well, I'll give you a piece. All right. 22 past the hour. Hi, Carolyn. What's going on?
Well, question for Tim. We have a hydrangea, and I was wondering if that's ever supposed to be pruned. My husband did some pruning on it, which was the first time, and now I'm wondering if there's going to be any blooms on it. I don't see any buds or...
Oh, do you know what variety of hydrangea you have?
No, I have no idea. I bought it from your nursery, actually, years ago when it was like one stick with one flower on top.
Aha.
And it's now like a beautiful bush.
Okay. Well, the old style of hydrangeas bloom on second-year growth. And so you have to have some of last year's growth on there in order to get blooms this year. So if you pruned off all of last year's growth, you won't get any blooms this year.
Oh, I see.
What was that?
I said, oh, I see. Well, you know, like these long, like dead sticks were coming up, you know.
Right.
And I think that's all he took off.
Yeah. Yeah, so you just keep an eye on it. It may produce some blooms late and be okay, but if it doesn't, then if you do any pruning on it this year, be sure that you don't prune off all of this year's growth, and you should be okay.
But you can prune them?
Yes, you can. Mm-hmm.
And what time of year would that be?
Usually I suggest doing that now because there's still time for it to produce lots of growth through the summer for producing blooms next year.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. And I just want you to know that we just love your nursery, and actually we love the Dove. I don't miss it for the world. Every morning I'm right there.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thanks.
Thank you, thank you. All right, let's go to pesky Kathy, who has a pet gopher. Oh, no. That's Kathy, who has a pesky gopher.
Well, the saga started last fall, and my neighbor put down mothballs to get rid of it, and I told him, thanks a lot, he just drove it into my yard. And then when we had the snow, after that, he just disappeared. So I thought, oh, one of my neighbors, there's two other neighbors on the side of the fence, thought one of them got rid of it. Great. Well, then he rototilled his garden a month ago, and it decided to come back over into my yard. I thought, oh, great. So I haven't been able to get rid of it, and I'm just a little old lady here who can't deal with traps and is a little hesitant with the gas bombs and that kind of thing, so I got the poison peanut kind of stuff.
You need the rotinator.
Oh,
you need the rotinator. He comes out.
Yeah.
Old Bob will come out and take care of that.
Well, part of the problem is the varmint is coming up in a part of the yard where I wanted to plant vegetables, and that would be like candy for him.
Yeah.
And so any suggestions for how I can try to use these poison peanuts things? Because so far what I've put down hasn't worked.
Well, on the poison peanut things, I'm not so sure on those. Mostly they go in the hole, and you want to get them away from any other wildlife or pets or things like that, so that they don't end up getting a hold of them. So generally, in the holes are the best place for those kinds of things. One thing that I would suggest for you that's worked really well for me is a product called Mulgo. And it's castor bean oil, and it just makes them kind of sick, and they move away back to your neighbor's yard.
Well, I really don't want to do that to my neighbor, even though they did it to me.
Yeah. Well, generally, it works really well in keeping them out, and you could just put the granules down in the area that you're going to be planting your garden, and it'll keep them out of that area. I like to put it down about every 2 to 3 months. It seems to work best that way, but it does a great job.
What do you mean put it down? Do you put it down the holes, or?
No, it's a granule, and you just sprinkle it down like you would fertilizer.
Oh,
and
really?
Just sprinkle it down, water it in, and away it goes.
Okay, well, I was told that if I take like a thin metal rod, which I do have a perfect one for that, and kind of poke around to see where his run is, and then try to open up a spot where the run is and put the poison peanuts down, and then make sure I cover it with like a rock or something, that was more effective than putting them down the holes.
Yes, anywhere where you can get that in his in their trail, their hole, or whatever you want to call it. That's the best place to put it.
Give it a
Since
shot.
I already bought the stuff, I thought, well, maybe I should see if I can find out some information from you on how to better use it, and then use it up. And if that didn't work,
yeah,
give him a shot. All right, thanks,
okay.
Kathy.
Thank you.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's see here. Before we take a break, hi, Lorraine. Thanks for your patience. What's up?
Well, we have a lawn that we planted 6 weeks ago, and there's lots of weeds that we've noticed coming into it, and we were wondering when would be the best time to put weed and feed on it. How long do we need to wait?
Well, if you have fed that lawn, that new lawn, at the time that you put the new lawn in, then you want to wait until that fertilizer is fairly used up. Usually takes 4 weeks, sometimes a little longer, depending on the brand. And then at that point, you can use a weed and feed. Now, the lawn should have gone through 2 good mowings until you get to that weed and feed. So 2 good mowings, or at least 4 weeks, and you're in good shape.
Okay, that's great, because we did our first mowing, so that's good to know, and thank you very much.
All righty, you're welcome.
Thanks, Lorraine. Okay, hi, Robin. No blueberries? Robin? Oh, Robin wasn't. A 4-year-old blueberry bush not producing. You have any idea what that might be?
Well, you know, most blueberries require another variety of blueberry to get pollination. Yeah, so they don't accept their own pollen. So that could be, if you just have one bush and it's 4 years old, you should be getting some berries. And if not, you need to get another variety to plant next to it.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but there's still plenty of time for you to give us a buzz and ask any question about yard work or plants or bugs or moles or gophers. Anyway, your name will go in the hat and somebody's going to win this beautiful coreopsis, okay? Give us a call. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Daniel and I work at theDove TV. You know, compared to Portland, Seattle, and LA, Medford might be considered a small market, but at theDove, we're excited about the opportunity to make a big impact right here in our community. And you help make that happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us now by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or by phoning 541-776-5368.
Okay, we're back with Tim Elbert from the Four Seasons Nursery and taking your questions about working in the yard, especially this weekend. Beautiful weekend on tap. Yes, it's Father's Day weekend, and it's the big Medford Car Show and shine, and the weather is perfect. It's not going to be hot. It's just going to be very pleasant. And so if you got any questions about working in your yard, give us a call. 541-776-5368 is the local number. And for those of you listening and watching outside the area, it's toll-free 800-373-5368. And your name's going to go in the hat. Somebody's going to win this beautiful coreopsis. All right. I think we got Robin back. And Robin, are you there?
Yep.
Okay.
What happened on the line this time?
What happened to your blackberries?
I've got 2 varieties growing together. I've got 2 bushes that are blue crop and one that is blue jay. And they're in an area maybe 3 feet in diameter. Maybe that's too close together. But they're also next to a big shrubbery or arbor kind of thing that I don't know what it is. It's an evergreen. And they're under kind of a cedar.
Okay.
Ooh.
But maybe both labels say 4 to 8 hours of sun, and they might be getting a little more than that.
Yeah.
That's why I planted them close to the big trees to give them some shade.
Yeah. Now that should be fine. It sounds like that's going well. Now, have they ever produced, or they've never produced?
Well, just a handful every year.
Okay. Yeah.
Barely enough for the blue jays. If I don't get there in time, it's gone.
Now, are they both blooming at the same time?
You know, I don't know. I've never focused on that.
Yeah. You know, there are early, mid, and late season varieties of blueberries, and I'll have to look to see. I know that blue crop is a mid season. If your Blu-ray is producing or is blooming early or late, and it's not blooming at the same time as your blue crops, then there could be a problem with getting that pollination.
Okay. Now there are berries on the blue crop and none on the blue jay or blue ray.
Yeah, that would be, you know, then it could be that the blue crop is collecting the pollen from the blue ray, but not vice versa. So yeah, it sounds like mainly just a pollination issue more than anything. So.
Is there any way to fool it?
Well, yeah, I don't know. You can get out there and kind of shake them around and you know, do the pollination dance. But other than that,
oh, there's one.
Call the dove and sing in the morning.
What's that?
Call the dove and sing in the morning too.
That would be a good idea.
What's the pollination dance?
I'm in Peggy's choir.
Okay, well, I tell you what, when we take this show on the road, I want you to demonstrate the pollination dance. All right.
You gotta just, you know, dance, you know. All right, shake the flowers.
Okay.
Thanks, Robin.
Thank you.
All right, God bless. The pollination dance. There's a new one coming to a YouTube near you. Okay. Hi, Joe. What's going on with your deer?
Hi.
Hi.
Well, every time I plant anything, they think I planted it for them, so they come along and they nibble it all up and just leave me a stick standing up. Is there anything safe I could put out there that would fool them and drive them away?
I know that. Well, you can try the pollination dance. No,
you know, nothing that I know of that's very effective, really.
So I just continue to feed the deer, huh?
Yeah, you know, there are repellents and things. We're carrying one called Plant Skid that uses a blood scent as a way of getting rid of them, and that seems to work pretty good. You can use it like around a fence line or around a border, and it usually keeps them out. But if the plant material is too enticing to them, they're going to go for it anyways. So.
Oh, okay.
I think, Joe, bow season's in August.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so far, we haven't found them to be very resistant to those.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try that.
Thanks, Joe. Sorry.
Thank you, and have a happy Father's Day.
Hey, you too. You know what? Of course, we have a dog, and that solves a lot of the deer problems.
Yeah.
But even when the dog's in at night, they'll come around. But sometimes when we kind of trim the dog, you know, you take the dog hair and put it around, they smell that, and that drives them away.
Yeah, yeah. It sometimes they get used to the dogs, and then that can be a problem. The dogs get used to them, and then
they have a little party. They do they do a pollination dance.
Yeah.
Hi, Dustin. What's going on with your earwigs?
Hey, I bought some earth tone earwig bait a couple weeks ago, and I've been using it pretty religiously, and it seems to work fairly good, but I have quite the infestation, and it's not working good enough. Is there anything else I can do, or?
Well, yes, you can go. You can actually spray for the earwigs, but earwigs feed nocturnally, so that means you have to go out at night after dark with a flashlight in order to do that. So yeah, get out your night vision goggles and your camo paint, and and get out there and begin to get those guys sprayed while they're feeding. Now, I had one situation where that happened, where there was a beautiful Shasta daisy that was getting eaten alive by these poor guys, and so we went out about every third day and at night and sprayed, and we finally got it under control, but it took a couple of weeks of doing that. So so you just have to be diligent, get out there and get it done. So, but you know what? It's actually a pretty good excuse to get the wife to okay the night vision goggles. So
there you go.
So yes, and I mean, you can go over to the Army Navy store and get you some camo paint, you know, and really do it up.
Now, is there some kind of dance that I can do to?
Yeah.
Well, you know, you can try. You know, I don't know.
It's called the earwig shuffle. Go for it.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Thanks, Dustin.
Thanks.
All right. Okay, this is getting out of control. This is good. All right. Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
What's going on with moss in your lawn?
Well, it's growing.
Oh.
Well, when it gets taller than the lawn, then just use that instead. You don't have to mow it.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, well, that's true.
It's green. What's the problem?
Yeah, moss is a tough one to get rid of, and in fact, the USDA decided to completely do away with what used to be called moss killers, because the term moss killer was not correct. Nothing kills the moss, and all it does is burn it, and then it comes back again. But you can continue to do that, so that you won't find any lawn fertilizer with a moss killer in it, which we used to sell. Now you'll find it with maybe something that says moss control or moss out or something like that, where it's because it doesn't actually kill the moss, it just kind of burns it. So the active ingredient that does that is iron, and so you can get, we carry a bag of iron. And no, it's not a big iron bar that you just drop. But it's a chelated iron product. It goes down like fertilizer, and it will burn out that moss, but the moss will come back. So expect that you'll be doing this fairly often, a couple of times a year, to keep that moss under control. One thing with iron, of course, is once it gets wet, it turns to rust, and you get the rust stains all over the sidewalks and things. So after you apply it, be sure that you use a good broom or a blower to clean off your walkways before they get wet, so you don't end up with the rust stains.
Well, okay. No, when I was farming, I had a hayfield that had moss in it.
Yeah.
Somebody told me, and we did it, and it killed it all. So we put ammonium sulfate.
Yeah. The ammonium will burn the moss down for sure. But I'm not sure how that would work on a lawn as far as burning out the moss goes. But you could try it. Yeah.
Well, I thought maybe that and it worked. That's been 40 years ago, 50 years ago.
Oh, well.
But I mean, that year was the year that we got one of the best crops of hay we ever got.
Well, give it a try and let us know, and then bale your lawn when you're done.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
All right,
Have
see
a
you,
good
pal.
day.
You too, pal. All right, 776-5368 or 800-373-5368. And we still have some time left. You want to call and ask Tim any questions about what's going on in your yard, and your name goes in the hat for this beautiful Coreopsis. Any other color out there we can be adding to the yard right now?
Yes.
Oh, what?
Oh, there's lots of things. One of the things that are just starting to bloom now are the coneflowers, the echinaceas, and we just got about 3 different varieties of those in, and they're beautiful. Great big daisy-like flowers. We've got a red one, a purple one. I can't remember what the third one is, but yeah, those are coming on really nicely right now. We have a new garden phlox, which is the taller garden phlox. This variety is called Forever Pink, and it's an all-summer bloomer. So very, very excited about that. It's a really nice one, and they're blooming like crazy right now too. So yeah.
Dorothy has a problem to Dustin's earwig problem, right, Dorothy?
I have a solution, and not many people that have tried it have been discouraged, okay?
Okay.
It takes time, effort, but if you get in early, it really works.
And that is?
That is, collect your tuna fish cans, your little yogurt, the small yogurt cups, cut off the tops if you need it. Get some cheap pop, okay? You hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you get some cheap pop, like Shasta or something, and I get that at the dollar store, I get it on sale. I never spend more than $5 the whole summer. And I fill those cans with about half full of the Shasta pop. The second thing my dad used to do was water it with a little bit of bacon grease on top, tuck them in under, wherever they're at. They love clematis. They would just shred our clematis. So I start those early, and I go out early in the spring, turn over rocks in shaded places to see where the slugs, snails, and earwigs, baby earwigs are at. Check that out. It takes maybe 10 minutes, so we have a good-sized yard. And then to tuna fish cans, and if you have kids, they love to do this because they feel like they're really helping. To fill those half full, take them and put them underneath where the earwigs are at. And believe me, I got 5 earwig cans in 2 days with probably at least 500 earwigs. They just were full in those cans, especially they like a bloom called Cut and Come Again, and he probably knows what that is. It's a real tall, lacy thing. They love it, and they love the clematis. It works like a charm. Just take time, and I check those cans about every 3rd day, and if they still have a little pop in them and a modest amount of earwigs, I leave them alone. If they're chock full, I put a little more in. And then every so often, you might want to rinse the can out. It takes a little time, a little effort, but again, to help your family help, and it works wonderfully, and in about 2 weeks, earwigs are they just can't procreate fast enough to keep up with my killer method.
Well, you are the tip of the day.
There's only one problem I have with that.
Just a moment. Yeah, go ahead.
There's no good reason to buy the night vision goggles now.
Yes, there is. Because remember when I said I went out and checked?
Oh, okay.
You can check early in the morning. You can check at dusk,
Okay.
to start to come out. Yeah, and besides, it's very romantic to take your wife or husband out in the yard
on an earwig
and walk around, and the neighbors don't see you hugging and kissing.
Oh, come on, honey. We're going on an earwig walk. Yeah. That's great.
His and hers night vision goggles. Okay.
Well, I have a 93-year-old husband.
I got a new Valentine's present now.
He likes to go out or sit in the swing while you're thinking about the earwigs. They're going to go gone.
I can't wait for my anniversary.
Yeah, Dorothy, you're a delight. Thank you, Dorothy.
Okay, God bless.
You too. What a delight. Okay, that's wonderful. The only interesting thing about that, if that Shasta soda's killing earwigs, what's it doing to you? Well, I've heard of that. They're drawn to sugar.
Yeah, they're drawn to that, and they actually get in there and they drown, and that's the idea is they just drown in it. They're drawn to the sweetness and they drown. But there's all different things. I've had some people use vegetable oil. Beer, the things like that you can do that with and have pretty good success.
Okay, one more segment, give you one more chance to call and get your name in the hat for this beautiful Coreopsis. The phone number is 541-776-5368, toll free 800-373-5368. We'll be right back with Tim Elbert.
Hi, I'm Paula and I work at theDove TV. Every day we get letters and emails from people who've been encouraged, blessed, and challenged by the programs on theDove TV. But we couldn't do it without you. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to bring inspiration and hope to our community by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or call us at 541-776-5368.
Well, we're back, and one more chance for you to give us a call and get your name in the hat for a chance to win this beautiful Coreopsis. It's a kind of a miniature variety of the Coreopsis, but the color is spectacular. It's kind of a yellow with kind of a rusty center to it, and these will bloom all summer long, and they really add a lot of color to your yard. So anyway, give us a call if you have any questions. Your name will go in the hat, and we'll draw one name out coming up here in a few moments. The phone number is 541-776-5368 or toll free 800-373-5368. So there's a lot going on in the yard. This is a perfect weekend. Yes, it's Father's Day, but the weather is kind of perfect. We are a little bit ahead of this drought thing. When I say ahead, we're drier now than we normally would be for this time of the year.
Yes.
And it doesn't look good towards the end of the year or the end of the summer. I mean, it looks pretty dry. So water conservation is certainly going to be an issue.
Definitely, and and there are ways that you can get your yard ready for that, and you should be doing that now, especially with the lawns right now.
Cutting it higher.
Yeah, getting that lawn really tall, about 4 inches high. That will keep the soil below cooler, which means less evaporation, and drives the roots deeper, which means that you can water less. if you get a chance to, put some of the soil activator on the lawn. That will also increase that lawn's ability to utilize that moisture more efficiently. So then you end up using more of that water.
What's the soil activator do?
Soil activator is a humic acid. Pretty much it's a kind of what's left over after the composting process, and so it's a kind of a black charcoaly looking product. But
very dusty.
Yeah, it's a little on the dusty side. But the main thing that it does is stimulates microbial activity in the soil, and those microbes break down organics, and they also help a lawn to, or the root system of a plant, I should say, to uptake nutrients and water more efficiently. And so because of all of that, it's using that moisture more than allowing it to draw down and go away. So pretty important step, I think.
All right. Well, anyway, we got a few moments left here, and if you have any questions, 541-776-5368 or toll-free 800-373-5368. The Four Seasons Nursery, if you've never been there, well, you're in for a real treat. It is beautiful. You go out Highway 62, and you get off on Vilas Road and hop over to the frontage road, and you just go about a half mile. You can't miss it. You'll see all the beautiful flowers out front, and they're open from 9 to 5 every day, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Mary Ann. Hi.
Good morning. I have 2 blueberries, both in wine tubs. One is a Chandler, and the other one is a Blue Crop, and they've been in for about a month. Now, is there any particular fertilizer? It was suggested they need some acid fertilizer. What do you use for that, or do you even use it at all?
Well, definitely use an acid fertilizer on those. There's a couple of different choices. For an organic, we use one by Espoma called Hollytone, and it's just made for acid-loving plants. There's a liquid kind that you mix with water and water it in, kind of like a Miracle Grow type thing. It's just called Acid Loving by Fertilome, and so that's another one we use. Any good kind of rhododendron or azalea fertilizer, as long as it doesn't have a systemic in it, should work pretty good as well. Now here's your other option. If you don't want to have a whole bunch of different kinds of fertilizer laying around, you can use just a standard fertilizer on them, but then add a little bit of aluminum sulfate to that, or magnesium sulfate, the Epsom salt, to bring your pH back down, and that'll certainly help as well.
So you would just use the regular fertilizer and then put the sulfate with it. That would be the what would that be?
Yeah, aluminum sulfate or magnesium sulfate. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. So if you had some of that laying around, you could add a little bit of that into into your mix with your fertilizer. Put that on there, and away you go.
And what was the first one you said? Fertilome.
Yeah, that's well, the first one was Espoma. That's the Hollytone, and that's an all organic version.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And that's something you would carry there?
Yes, although I just found out yesterday we ran out of it, so we'll hopefully have it in next week.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
all right,
Mary Ann.
you're welcome.
Okay. Okay. Hi, Tricia. What's going on?
Hi. I have pampas grass that is about 15 years old. 2 large plants, and we have a hurricane fence, and one of them was pushing against the fence. So we started cutting it back, trying to pull out the dead part. And I understand that actually the new growth comes around the outside. Do we need to pull out all of the dead part?
No, and the new growth will come from the center as well.
Okay.
So not just the outside, it'll come from the center as well. So, but no, if you just cut back as much as you can, it's still going to come back.
Boy, does it ever.
Yeah. If you dig it out, it'll probably still come back. But no, it's it's going to come back from all over. So you just cut down as much as you can, get it cleaned up as best you can, and then away you go. It'll come back and be big and beautiful again.
Okay. I had another question, and now I just forgot what it was about the pampas grass. So much for senior moments, huh?
That's all right.
Oh, shoot.
No problem. What do you do with the grass afterwards?
Oh, no, burning. Excuse me. I saw a guy at the rogue disposal who was pulling his pampas grass out. He had 7 different bushes. But he told me that technically you're supposed to burn it once a year, and then it comes back even prettier the next year?
Well, not necessarily have to, but that is an option. Yes, you can. Now, of course, be careful with city ordinances and things like that. You know, when you're going to burn and you know, with a wire fence, you're probably okay. But if you're up against a wooden fence, you know, yeah, again, not a great idea. And don't use any accelerants like diesel.
No.
So yeah, so you just want to be careful with that.
Okay.
We don't want you leaving before us.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, if you did it periodically, let's say every several years, does it really enhance the plant?
Not necessarily. It just gets rid of all the dead because, of course, the dead just burns away, and then all the new growth comes up. And with all the dead being gone, of course, it is beautiful. But you can do just as good if you get in there and cut it all out. So just caution you about burning. I mean, it is fire.
Well, right. And how far back? I know you had told me once before that you cut yours back every year. Do you leave 3 feet? Tall?
On the big ones, yes. You know, normally they can get 10, 12 feet tall. So cutting it back to 3 feet is pretty good. So that's that is definitely one option. If you can go lower than that, go for it. It's just a lot of work for not as much of a benefit. So
yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you so much, sir.
All right. You're welcome.
We have some at the new building, and they just cut it down to a ball like that. It just come right back.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We'll take one more question, and then we'll call it a day. Hi, Diane. What's going on?
Hey, a couple months ago, we talked about my lilac bush and how the branches were dying in the middle. And you told me to pour something on them, which I did, but it didn't work. And so now they're worse. So can I just cut the big branches out of the middle where other things, will they grow back?
Yeah, prune it out, and then if you can, also bring a sample in so we can take a look at it and see what's going on. Because if I missed a diagnosis, I want to know. So.
Well, the leaves just started shriveling up and turning brown, and then all the outside things were all green.
Yeah, that's usually a disease called anthracnose that can affect them. And usually, it'll get some dieback, and then some fresh growth will come up, and you'll be okay. And you used a fungicide on it?
Right.
Yeah. It could be just that the disease was too how do I say it? Had too strong of a foothold, and the dieback was still continuing. But you definitely need to get a good copper or sulfur spray on that in the fall to prevent that from happening next spring. But again, if you can bring a sample in an enclosed plastic bag, we can take a look at it and see if for sure that's what's going on. But any dead you can cut out as well.
Okay, and I have another question.
Quickly.
I have cinder blocks, and I planted petunias in there, but I want to plant other things in there besides petunias. Is there some other plant that does well in really close spaces?
Oh, yeah, there's lots of things. There's zinnias, marigolds, portulaca, a lot of other annuals that you can put in there that'll do just as well.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're all right, you're welcome.
All right, don't forget, Four Seasons Nursery, Highway 62, open 9 to 5 every day, and somebody's going to win the beautiful Coreopsis. We'll let you pick out a name in there, Mr.
All right, Lorraine.
Lorraine.
The newly planted lawn. Actually, our first caller.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Lorraine, you are the winner of this beautiful Coreopsis, and Tim will make arrangements for you to get it at the nursery. And thank you all for calling in. Don't forget, it's Father's Day, so buy Dad a shovel.
No, what you do is send Dad to the show and shine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, send Dad to the show and shine, and then while he's gone, clean up the yard.
Oh, well, no.
See, then he doesn't have to do it. See, there we go.
Whoa, there you go. Hey, you're more than a pretty face.
I know what I would want for Father's Day.
Yeah, I do too. Okay. All right, we'll see you next time on Focus Today.
Hi, I'm Jim and I work at the Dove TV. Every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m., our award-winning news and sports team bring you the best morning show around. It's live, it's honest, and it's a whole lot of fun. And you help make it happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to air local programs that share your voice by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us.